left with 1, subtract what? 1, which we all know is 0. Is it going to be equal to 2? Sad. Sad. You walk outside class on Wednesday on one of these problems, I know how students are. I hear them talking after they leave class. What'd you get for number 2? What'd you get for this one? What'd you get for that? Oh, I got -1. Did you check it? No. Was I supposed to check it? I thought it was an answer. No, you didn't check it. It didn't work. I mean, he's out. I tried. The sad thing is, maybe 23 didn't work. Let's see what you check. 23. Now I'm checking 23 back here. Make sure we get all this cut down correctly this time. Square root of 2 times 23 plus 3. It is a subtraction time. Square root, what was that? X plus 2, 23 plus 2. Squeeze that in right there. And we're hoping to get a 2. This is square root of, when you do the math underneath that square root, I think it's 46 plus 3. 49? On the end, I think it's 25. Underneath there. 7, subtract 5. Oh, how cute. How cute. I've had some students in past semesters, they come back in the door after class is over, the test is over. Professor, I messed up on it. It's over. You missed it. What do we do about it? Aren't you going to look at it again? Are you kidding? You want to look at that problem again? The quiz is over. The quiz is over. The final answer is 23. Right down here. Now, probably the most demanding one on the handout in the solving equations part. Okay? Now, I'm checking my time here. You guys remember the class ends at what? 6:50? Right. Oh, 5:50. Okay, 5:50. So far, so good on this solving equations. We ran through so many solving equations you would not believe. Now, save the completion of the square to now. To sort of close down all this work we've done. We did quadratic formula, amazing. We did factoring, amazing. We did a crazy one like this one, amazing. To do this, make it work out, and make some sense of it. What I have not had enough practice with, have not done much at all with, is this. Solve. And all of a sudden Wednesday you see I'm telling you a particular way to solve it. Solve by this. Completion of the square. In other words, when you look at it, you say, Professor, I can use quadratic formula. Well, I could too, but it says solve by completion of the square. I can solve it by factoring, Professor. Not this quadratic. I want to solve by completion of the square. So what on earth is completion of the square? Now, start you out. Let's try this. Better. Try this. X subtract 4, quantity squared, equals 25, solve for X. I'm going to lead you into it gradually. Watch carefully. I think by this point, and I think most of my students say, Professor, if you just leave it open, and I want to solve it, can I do this? If I can, the left-hand side is we need X subtract 4, just apply a square root. Now, here's my discussion before the break. This is a quadratic. You actually should expand this thing out as a quadratic. I'm expecting two answers. This is the time to put plus minus. So this is plus just to ensure I get two answers, and that gives us the 5. Move the 4 over, by adding. Those are your answers, and there are 2 of those. Separate them. If I separate them right quickly, you have, looks like what, 9? And a negative 1. You finish. Done. But then on your quiz, you see, professor. I don't see any completion of square on that right now. I don't either. And all of a sudden, you see this on your quiz. X squared, we've got 8x minus 9 is equal to 0. I just sort of recapping and moving into it. Now I say solve that. I think many students at this point would say, Professor, factor. Just factor now. If I factor this, what you end up with, help me out here guys, at this point now, I'm not quite finished my little presentation on this. Does that factor into that? X subtract 9, x plus 1. Split this up. I'm going to end up with a 9 and a negative 1. Please tell me were those the same ones I got earlier. I used a different technique. I just took the square root of each side. This one I actually did something else with, and I factored. Now, I've not shown you completion of square yet. Now, before I go into my next method to try to get those same answers, I hope those 2 answers check. I haven't checked these answers yet. Guys, I'm going to go back real quickly. The original up here, before you see the red, the original is just the black. You put a 9 in there. 9 subtract 4. What's that, 5? 5 squared is 25. Does that match up? Negative 1. Negative 1 subtract 4 squared. Is that negative 5 squared also 25? Does that match up here? It looks like those answers are in good shape. They both work. Okay, guys, square root method. Factoring. Is it my factoring skills are bad, Professor? What a good way to close down class somewhat tonight. What else could I do that we talked about tonight? How else could I solve this? A quadratic formula. You say, oh no, Professor, suppose you want to solve this by quadratic formula. Like down here. X squared, subtract 8x, subtract 9, is equal to 0. I'm saving the hard part for the end. Quadratic formula, x is equal to negative 8, negative b, plus minus square root, negative 8 squared. Now get on your way there to all the students who see subtract 4 times a times c, all over 2 times 1. I hope I put all those numbers in there correctly. Looks messy, as you know what. We're just doing a recap. If I put that in there correctly, I should get the same answer again. And those answers were 9, negative 1. This is a third technique. It's going to be the same answers. I hope it gives me the answers. X is equal to, this becomes a positive 8, plus minus, underneath that's what scares me. It's 64 here, negative 8 squared. 64, and then all this right here, the remaining part, a negative times a negative is definitely a positive. So I got 64 plus 36. 64 plus 36 underneath there. And what is 64 plus 36? 100?
100.
Was it 96?
No, it's 100.
64 plus, was it, last one, 8 times C? Yeah, is it? Yeah. So it's 36, 64 plus 36. No scary. Is it 100?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all over 2. That gives it is 100 because it's a perfect square root. So this is 8 plus minus 10 over 2. This is quadratic formula. Separate them. One says consider 8 plus 10 over 2, 18 over 2, 9. Well, that agrees back up here. the other one, 8 subtract 10 over 2. What's that? Negative, how much is that? Negative 2 over 2? Negative 1. And I think that takes me back to the other answer. How can you go wrong? That's my third method, and it's the same answers. So, Professor, you're saying what for last? Which one have we not really worked with that should also lead me to the same answers? Maybe a little bit more demanding? We'll see. Okay, I did it by this method, I did it by factoring, I did it by quadratic formula. Yes, I saved this for last. Now redo it like completion of the square. Now I'm in the quadratic, the guys will remember that it's quadratic, and now get the same answers. But